Did you know that most of the hyper-successful people, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, these people don't have so many goals. They have one goal. I tried setting up goals so many times in the past, and I've come to realize it doesn't work. My goals then were far removed from any emotional attachment. It was far removed from my reality. It's far removed from what I really want and love, wish for. Then I came to realize that I can't keep doing this to myself. If you keep changing your goals, it means you don't know what you are up to. You don't have any standing. Where does your goal come from? Someone once said that every man is trying to live up to his father's expectations or make up for their father's mistakes. They say that knowledge in childhood is like a mark on a stone, never goes away. Now, in the same measure, a pain in a childhood is like a scar on the brain and in the soul. It never goes away. Now, I want to ask you a question today. What is it that motivates you? Motivation is very important. Every day you wake up and you want to listen to some inspirational and motivational speech. Everybody wants to listen to someone to tell him, do it. And then he goes out to do it. You want to listen to something profound on the internet. You want to listen to someone telling you to do it, telling you what you know in a very profound way. You want to listen to someone to tell you, go to the gym, and then you go to the gym. You want to listen to someone to tell you, love your neighbor, and then you love your neighbor. You want to listen to someone always to tell you, do it, and then you do it. Motivation is extremely important. If you are one of those people who always want to get a dose of motivation online every day, what happens when you wake up one day and you don't even have the motivation to listen to a motivational speech? Now, that is the problem. It means you would be completely demotivated. What is it that motivates your motivational speaker? Now, hyper-successful people get motivated on a constant basis. They don't need to listen to any YouTube motivational speech before they get motivated. Do you want to tell me that the great men of old used to listen to some motivational speech? Come on. These things did not exist before, but then they did some of the most amazing things. There were no YouTube videos telling you to do stuff, inspiring you on a daily basis. They didn't have a daily dose of a motivational speech. They don't need no one to tell them to do what they wanted to do, but they did it. Now, what is the difference between these people and the normal people who always want to listen to some motivational speech online before they do what they want to do? Everybody could listen to a motivational speech, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it is bad, but I'm saying that there are two kinds of people. There are people who get motivated by who, and there are people who get motivated by what. If you are one of those people who always get motivated by a person, you always have to listen to that person before you get motivated. Chances are you will hit a bump one day and you would stop doing what you were doing. Now, if you are motivated by what, then there will not be any limit to the level at which you would go. No limit at all. If you are motivated by a person, then a person is limited, all right? But if you are motivated by an ideal, by a principle, by an idea, then that is eternal, because idea is everlasting. It resonates with you. We all set goals. I'm talking about goal setting, okay? Before we come into 2024, many people have done many videos about you setting up your goal, all right? Set up 2024 goals. So we have 2024 goals. We are going into 2024 with this goal. Now, this is what I've come to realize. Did you know that most of the hyper-successful people, they had one goal, just one goal. They don't have different goals for every year. At the end of 2023, then they write 2023 goals, yeah? And then at the end of 2024, they go on writing 2025 goals, and they keep changing their goals. Now if you keep changing your goal like that, now this is what I've come to realize, that these hyper-successful people, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, just take your time to listen to them, okay? These people don't have so many goals. They have one goal in life, one. And that one goal leads them to doing so many things. You see, you don't need so many things. You don't need to keep changing your goal. This is what I've realized. If you keep changing your goals, it means you don't know what you are up to. You don't have any standing. You just go in with the flow. Now, that is the problem with most people. Every year, every December, they set up new goals. Now, I have done that before. For a very long time, I have done that. Trust me, at the end of every year, I would set up a new goal. And then at the end of it, most of them, I don't achieve most of them goals. Then I've come to realize that no, there is something wrong with me. And indeed, there was something wrong. The thing is, I kept changing my goals. Some of them things that I write shouldn't even be in my list of goals. There should be something that come naturally. Then I realized that if I could just find myself one goal for my whole life, then that one goal would open doors for so many things that I put in my basket of goals would just fall in place. I just needed one thing. And this is what I have come to realize about these successful people. They just have one goal in life. And guess what? That one goal is embedded in a very deep place. They get that one goal from a very deep place. Now, if you go to any motivational speaker or any goal-setting person and then say, you know what, I want to set up a goal. And then you say, okay, you want to set up a goal? Let me help you out, okay? Write this template. Now you can go on Google and then you find yourself a template of goal setting. And they will just write, okay, introduction and then reason and and you have a template and you are writing your goal based on somebody else's template on Google. What's wrong with you? That is stupid. Now you see, no two lives are the same and you can't put your goal in someone's template. It is so simple to have a goal. If you really want a goal, it's so simple. Now, the simplicity of a goal could be found in your own life. Your own life. Don't look at someone else's goal. You can't copy a person's goal. You can't do that. This goal is supposed to be uniquely attached to you. It's supposed to be special to you. Your goal. Now, this is what they did. Elon Musk has his one goal. Jeff Bezos has his goal. Your religious leader has a goal. The imam has a goal. Okay. Guess what? The prophets, they had goals. Leaders of religion, they had goals. So you need yourself one goal for life. And that one goal, in its pursuit, will open doors for other things to fall in place. Now, where do you get this goal? Now, this is what I want to share with you right now. They say that if you have enough why, then the how becomes easy. Where does your goal come from? Walter Isaacson is an author, American author. He writes mostly biographies of some of these hyper-successful people. And recently, he wrote a book on Elon Musk. Now, what this guy does in writing his biography is to investigate the life of these people. The lives of these people are things that he looks into at a very close range. He looks deep into their life and then he dissects it and see what's going on in there. And he writes a book about it. And he analyzes the life. Now, recently, he's granted an interview on Lex Fridman podcast, and he was talking about this book, and he was talking about the correlation and the similarities that he has come to find between the life of these people. And there is this interesting thing he said. He said that most of them, okay, now listen to this. He said most of these people, they had a very tough and hard childhood. So they have not forgotten what happened to them in the past. And their goal in life is so emotional. Now you see Elon Musk making all these Teslas and buying all these Twitters and doing all of these crazy things. And you think this guy, how many goals will he have? No, he has one goal, and that goal is emotional. If your goal is emotional, then I don't see any reason why you can't win. You know why? Because emotion is a very powerful tool. Emotion is more powerful than anything you could imagine. Your job is to transform whatever emotions that you harbor into a positive action. Now, don't you think we all feel jealous? Okay? You see a brother moving in life and you don't feel jealous. Who are you? You are no angel. I mean, you have the same heart. You have to feel jealous. Now, jealousy is a very powerful emotion. So you feel jealous, but how do you deal with it? How do you deal with your jealousy? Now, if you see a brother, he's just keep winning and you telling me that you don't feel jealous. Now, don't be so hypocrite. Now, these people are so hypocrite and they go like, I don't feel jealous. Now, be careful of anybody who tells you don't be jealous. I'm telling you, he is advising you against your biological nature. Nobody can live without feeling some sense of jealousy in him. I feel jealous. You have no idea how many times I look at the brother and I go like, wow, I wish. I look at what he's having, I go like, wow, I wish I had that, man. I wish I had this. Okay. I mean, that's natural for you to see something that you wish for and be jealous of it. That's the way we are made. Allah made us that way. Okay. And there's no shame in feeling jealous. I want to tell you right now, never feel ashamed for feeling jealous. You need jealousy. Now, this is what you feel shame of. When you feel jealous, how do you transform that shame? How do you transform that emotion? Because jealousy is a very powerful emotion. Now, how do you transform it? A person should be a vessel, a machine that kind of transforms emotions into actions. That's what we do. Two things, yeah? There is outside activities and there is our activities. Now, outside activities affect us and we receive it in some emotional level, at some emotional level, and then we act based on what? Based on that. Now, how do you act? Are you acting based on the advice of your emotion, or do you have the capacity to transform it? Now, I told you I feel jealous sometimes when I see things. And then when I look at them and I was relaxed and I'll go like, oh my God, perhaps I should do more. And that jealousy straight away set me up and it just gets me working harder. So I feel jealous, all right. But then I realize the best way to act and respond to that jealousy is not hate. Now, this is the difference between what some of us do and what many people do. What some of us do, and I believe some of the hyper successful people, is to receive jealousy and transform it into inspiration, into hard work. Now, terrible people, most people, yeah, they receive those jealousy, that emotion, and they transform it into hate. Now, you see the difference. Same emotion, different action. Emotion is a very powerful thing. If you could carve your goal out of a powerful emotion, there is no limit to what you can do. And if you have that, you don't need anyone. I'm telling you, you don't need anyone to give you any motivational speech on a daily basis. You don't need a daily dose of motivation if you have a powerful emotion, if you have a powerful goal that is carved out of your emotion. Now, let me ask you, those people who laid down their lives during the uprising, for example, during the colonial times in African time, yeah, we had so many leaders who were relentless. They rather die, and they didn't have to listen to no motivational speaker. Why? Because they lived the tyranny of slavery. They lived the tyranny of colonialism. And their goal was to lead their country to freedom so they can free themselves and their people from this terrible experience. Their goal is emotional. In my country, Ghana, we had this time when we had to survive, we had to free ourselves, and we had to gain freedom from our colonial masters. And there were people who fought for it, and they made it their life goals to free their people. And their goal was emotional. And that was why they couldn't stop. But what happening today is we have forgotten. And because we have forgotten this, our goal now becomes a campaign goals, yeah? And then they want votes. And there is no emotion attached to the leadership. There is no emotion attached to the promises of the politicians today. And if there are no emotions attached to it, then it becomes very, very faint. What I'm trying to say is simply this. I tried setting up goals so many times in the past, and I've come to realize it doesn't work because my goals then were far removed from any emotional attachment. It was far removed from my reality. It's far removed from what I really want and love and wish for. It's far removed from that. Then I came to realize that I can't keep doing this to myself. Then I had to search. Where is it that I can find a goal that is straightly attached to me emotionally and personally? And then I could just hold on to that. And ever since I found that, I didn't find any need to listen to any motivational speaker. All I need to do is to wake up and I'm motivated. And then I learn on a daily basis. I don't get motivated by who. I get motivated by what. This is what I wanted to share with you today. And if it has added any value to you in any way, I would deeply appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button to support this channel. My name is Lihambal. Live your life.